But I was going to talk on the bear projects that we did immediately after the fires. So it was really a logistical nightmare. And the forest asked me to kind of like be the bear coordinator and be the representative between the bear teams and the forest. And we had this meeting, you know, to kind of hand the bear project off to the forest, and everybody's sitting there listening. And after the meeting, one of the people came up to me and said, you know, you're going to have to be really careful where you put these resources. Because if you're pulling a pipe and you have a fire crew up there working, what are you going to do? Because they can't get out, and the other crews can't get in. And I was just like, holy cow, how am I going to figure this all out? I am not prepared for this. And I was just, you know, I was speechless. I just kind of stared at this guy thinking, they asked the wrong person for this job. And luckily, about a minute later, the incident commander came up to me and said, don't worry, this is our job. We know just what to do. You just tell us what needs to be done, we'll figure it out. So that's what I did. And it was amazing. They were so efficient. I didn't have to worry about culverts being pulled out and no access up into areas or anything. So it was really I was really impressed with the incident command system and how it worked. So that was good. You know, and then we had these fire crews coming in. They'd run out of their 14 days. We'd shift people in, and the teams would come in and out, just like it was an active fire suppression project. And I always thought that these fire crews coming in to do bear work, they had to be, you know, really excited, because they were going to come in here and just grovel in the dirt, basically, for their 14 days and then move on. But, you know, they were good-spirited about it, and we had pretty decent fire camp for them. We ended up keeping our fire camp at the fairgrounds until the end of October, and then so they, you know, could stay in the swine barn. Let's see, we ended up requesting, you know, quite a bit of money for bear funding, and I saw a memo that was dated like June of the following year of how much money we had spent. It was over $8 million. We did, let's see, just over about 4,500 acres of log erosion barriers and straw wattle placement. And then we did 79 acres of lop and scatter, kind of reducing ground fuels around homes. We did 200 acres of aerial seeding. And we really, even before the 2000 fires, we didn't do very much seeding on the Bitterroot, because we had found that mostly the natives came back on their own, and it was much more effective to do that than the aerial seed. But we did a little bit of this up in Sula Basin, where it was really a hot fire, and we didn't know that anything would come back in that area. And then we did 45 acres of hazard tree removal along roads. We did 300 feet of stream bank stabilization. We did 4 miles of placing large woody debris within the stream channels, you know, cutting down the trees and placing them there, trying to dissipate stream energy, be a trap for sediment. We mulched 86 acres of land with weed seed-free straw, and we installed a flood warning system where we placed precipitation gauges at strategic spots around the forest that we could collect information from and let people know downstream if there was a flood coming. And then we did a lot of road and trail treatments. That was probably our biggest projects across the forest. We installed larger culverts at 316 locations. We removed 42 culverts and fills. We installed drainage dips on roads to reduce the erosion and the flow paths on the roads. We constructed ditches, 2.6 miles of ditches. We decompacted 6.2 miles of road surface. We armored a couple of creek crossings. And we did 100 miles of trail restoration and rehab. So that was a lot of work that we did with our $8 million.